Welcome back to Decoding the Flow. I am so happy to have you here. And as you may know, if you watch this on YouTube, I now present you with a brand new background because I'm spending a month into this new space. If you listen to the last episode, I talk a lot about my last experience with artists in residency. That time was in France. And this time it is close to where I live here in South Bay, Los Angeles, California, but not quite. It's a completely different environment. And I'm so happy that I got to create this beautiful environment. Well, it's actually an artist in residency that I created for myself to be able to finish my book, the second edition of Decoding the Flow. And okay, hold on. If you're just listening this on Spotify or iPod, you have to kind of tune in into YouTube because it's gonna make the entire difference. And also, I've just left everything like falling off. I don't have an iPad on me or because my phone is recording. So I am an old school journalist. So I write things down and I have multiple pages because today's topic is one of my very favorite topics. We are going to talk about authenticity. Well, authenticity, I see it as sort of a trending topic right now. Everybody loves to talk about authenticity. But it's actually tied into my latest solo episode when we talk about creative blocks. And I'm so happy so many of you resonated with that episode. And I want to continue the conversation because for you to be able to create your life and not react to life, you have to be so in tune with who you are. But we're not talking about who you are on a surface level. What does authenticity really means? Do you know? Yeah, it is the truth of who you are. Your authentic self, it is the part of yourself that carries your soul essence. It is that thing that lights you up, gives you purpose, brings you joy, and most importantly, makes you uniquely you. I always say that especially for us artists that we use our entire soul level creation to put it into the outer world. And I don't fear anybody of I don't see any other artists as competition because nobody can be who I am. And you know how many people come to me and talk to me, I love your idea, I'm gonna do the same that you do. Go for it because energy, the essence that you put into everything that you do, it can never ever be copied. This is the most beautiful thing. But for some reason, we all get lost into this uniqueness of who we are. And that's why I want to talk about it. Okay, let's go back to when we were born. We come into this world with this unique, authentic soul essence. We are free and we laugh and we play. And then with our upbringing and the things that it started happening in our life and the older that we get, we tend to shop that very specific things in our lives and our soul essences because we wanted to be able to be loved. At somewhere along the lines in our while we are growing up, we go on in lives and we started seeing the world with the different lenses. From the moment that we are born, we learn which parts of ourselves it receives rewards and which parts of ourselves it receives rejection. We tend to edit our life depending on the emotions that other people perceives through us. I work in a journalism field for 15 years of my life, way back in the days. And I work in different media outlets. And depending on that media, you literally have to edit the way you are writing it to be able to match that specific vision for that for that newspaper or magazine, and you can see it. You can see different journalism, different reporting, and you can see this in real life. This is exactly what happened to us throughout our lives. But what is very curious and what I really want to touch into this podcast, it is the more that we do this in our life for many reasons, okay? Because maybe we perceived and not being loved, or maybe we perceived something of not belonging, maybe with the fear of being rejected, maybe by having fear of showing up your true version of yourself because somebody in the room got offended. I mean, you name it. This can happen in so many different forms, in so many different areas of our lives. And if we don't wake up one day and realize how much of our lives that we are editing to be accepted, to be loved, to be belonged, our whole, full, authentic versions of ourselves are going to disappear. And I want you to think about this for a moment. If at some point of your life you are feeling disconnected, or if you're feeling comparison, or if you do have tendencies of people pleasing, or any point in our life you don't wake up happy or excited to show up by your true, whole, beautiful self that you are, then, my friends, I am sorry to tell you, but we got some authentic versions to be redefined. And I love, like I've been talking about the wait list of my creative flow activations. And one of the very first and early exercises that I will offer you, it is for you to get brutally honest with yourself and trying to redefine that authenticity, because at the end of the day, authenticity, it is not you reinventing yourself. It is you unlearning everything. I'm going to give you a few steps for you to do that without even joining the a creative flow activation, because I think this is really tied with the creative blocks that we talked on my last solo episodes. And I'm so happy that so many of you resonated, because at the end of the day, authenticity is not about reinventing yourself or about finding yourself. It is about removing what stops you from being who you are. Before we go deeper, I want to share something with you. There was a time that I never felt like I could fit in. Something in me, this firework of colors that wants to be expressed, but I didn't feel like I had permission to be that person. And the truth is, artists, the creators, the people that I would look up for, they all embody everything that I was, but I never felt like I could be. Until I realized nothing was missing. I just needed to be in spaces and around people who helped me dare. Because if you don't dare, you can spend the entire lifetime just thinking that nothing else is possible. And that's why I created the Creative Flow Activation. It's not only a 12-day course program, it's a return to who you are before you start holding yourself back. If there's something inside of you that is ready to come back to life, join the wait list. You can find the link below, and I'll see you there. Now back to the episode. This is so important, because if you live your life without your soul essence, you're going to be so unhappy. You can do this test right now. When you wake up, what is the first thing that comes to mind? What you're creating? What lights you up the most? Also, how are you showing up in your family, in your friends, in your business meetings? Is that the same soul essence that showed up? Or do you have to wear different masks? Of course, we all have to be cautious, because yes, at certain places we do have to be more cautious, but our soul essence cannot not show it up. And this can look like you feeling disconnected with the work that you do, or you feeling disconnected with the place that you live. Look around your home, how much that you can see yourself in your home. Be honest. Can you smile at yourself in the mirror? I love the mirror work. And we talk about this in the last episode. Like this week, at some point in our adult life, we just have to be honest with ourselves. These are the questions that I really want you to think about it. And, I talk about like creating this beautiful environment that I am in. And there's so many things that I wanted to share with you because I've been working in my own authenticity for so long. Even with my journalism career, I was wearing a lot of masks because I was saying that it depends on the media outlet that you work. You sort of have to wear this mask. When I turned out to be my own creative and a businesswoman that I am, I have to embrace and to reconnect it with the truth of who I am and even show it up on camera because a lot of triggers in showing up on camera, it would remind me of my journalism career. But to today here showing up, it is a daily effort. It's a daily exercises of me being and showed up as truth as I can be. Because let's go back to the importance of authenticity. People connected with your soul essence. And if you don't ever wanted to worry about competition anymore, the only thing that's going to make you unique, it's you. It's you and the truth of who you are. I believe that when God puts us on earth, it's almost like every one of us, it is a part of this bigger grand plan that one completes another. But for that to happen, we all need to be embracing and acting as our truth versions of ourselves. One of my very favorite spiritual mentors that I follow for quite a while right now, and his name is Bashar. I always talk about him. I don't know if you're familiar or not, but he mentioned something that is so connected to everything that we are talking about here today. And he talks about how we have to follow our excitement, because by following our excitement, it is pretty much following our true essence, our true frequencies that we are. And that is one of the universe ways of connecting to us. It is by excitement. And if you really think about excitement, it's totally connected with authenticity. What are the things that lights you up? It is almost like the universe guiding you towards your authenticity and towards the truth path that it would be a lot easier for you to follow, because it is by this feeling of excitement. What was the last time that you followed your most excited timeline ever? How many of us or how many people do you know in your life that decided to follow a career path that was more secure than excited, right? And yes, at some point in our life, this can be very important because of so many other reasons: security, family, comfort. But at some point in our life, if we don't wake up to the truth of who we are, that calling that we ignore is going to scream very big. And the way that we're going to feel if we don't follow that calling, if you don't go back to it, the feeling of disconnection, it's going to be so brutal. And nobody deserves to be in this only life that we have with this own body that we got if we are feeling disconnected, right? That's so interesting because I'm talking about authenticity and how you can find your authenticity. And I just realized something this week while being here on this beautiful space. For a lot of years of my life, like a lot, like I'm talking about decades, I thought that my authentic code was anything related to freedom and independence. Maybe because at the age of 23, I decided to move away from my country, from my family, and start a completely new life without even knowing exactly I was going with $500 on my pocket, figure out your life. And here I am, half of my life here in the United States. But this week, I realized something that completely shifted this mindset of mine. And I really believe that my authentic code shifts. And I'm gonna explain why. So this space that I am right now, it is reminding me a lot of how I grew up and a lot of my upbringing, like my first half of my life. I was living in a space like this space, and I used to play piano probably about 3 or 4 years of my life when I was a kid. I remember at the age of 8 years old, I was playing piano and I love playing piano. We had a piano at home, and funny enough, this place that I am right now, they do also have a piano. And I was like, I'm going to see what can my subconscious mind can bring if I sit on piano. I just want to practice the piano while I'm here, at least for 20 minutes a day, to see how much my subconscious mind can remember, because I used to be quite good playing piano. I don't remember why I decided to stop, maybe because it got super hard. And when you're a kid, you don't really want to practice hard things. Anyway, I started playing piano and I started journaling. Why do I wanted to go back playing piano? What was the thing that made me love piano at first place? It was the songs, it was the lyrics, it was the hands. And what I came to my realization, it may surprise you, but it connects everything that I am so obsessed with it in my life, which is movement. I remember playing piano and I love the movement of the hands and the movement of the body. Is the same thing with painting. People come and often talk to me if I would create digitally. And I always say no, because I do love the movement. I love to move my body. And this is connected with everything else that I do. I mean, the movement can not only be for exercises, but authenticity is movement, because everything moves. And I am obsessed with movement in a physical level, in a mental level, in all of the levels that you can possibly think, because authenticity is movement. Life creates itself. Life creates more life. And if we don't create more life within our life, we get stuck. And that's why authenticity play one of the most important roles in our entire life, for us to be able to keep moving in the direction that is connected to our soul essence. And I really believe that the universe is always going to put us in situations and in life experiences that is going to bring us back to that soul's essence. Because universe and God, source, creator, I like to call creator, it is so good to us that everything that happens to us, it is an attempt to bring us back to our soul's essence. So pay attention. Pay attention to what is happening in your life. And maybe sometimes we're not happy with a certain situation, and maybe even the hard parts are part of the bigger plan. If you can look in between the lines and understand that nothing is happening of outs, if you can look at life understanding that nothing is a mistake, you are going to find your true essence, and you are going to infuse that true essence into everything that you do. And that, my friend, it's going to make you so unique. It's going to make you connected with a larger part of you that is connected with everything else. So I would love for you to audit your life. Do you have fears of abandonment? Do you have people pleasing tendencies? Do you have creative blocks often? Do you feel like you're not showing up the way that you want? Do you feel like something in your life is missing? Think of those and write those things down and understand that if this is happening, it is because you're not using your whole authentic version of yourself truly and fully. So here's my invitation for you to audit your life and to audit your projects, to audit what makes you jump and go, what makes you excited. What are the type of people or the type of books? What are the secret Google search that you do? What are those things? Are you putting them into the light or are you hiding yourself underneath them? So here's my invitation to you to become more of who you are because the world needs the truth of who you are. Okay. I hope you love this podcast. I am so passionate about this topic. And if you do want to be part of my creative flow activation, here's my invitation for you to be part of the waitlist. And if you are watching or if you're listening, please make sure to follow the show, to follow this podcast. It's definitely the best free way that you can support this project. And also leave your comment below with your biggest takeaway and share it with somebody who may would love to listen what we just talk about it. Okay. Have a good one and we talk soon. Bye. Ay, my knee.